What are my 5 top tips for young starting entrepreneurs? It's a question I get all the time and I really want to go into this. So let's start with tip number 1. And tip number 1 is really something you have to ask yourself. Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? Now, the reason I ask this is because these days, so many people start their business. And I think it's great, right? Being an entrepreneur is great. Having the freedom, it's perfect. It's for me, it is great. But the problem is, why do you want to start? Do you want to start because you see people on social media who start a business and now they have a fancy car, right? Are you pursuing money because you see that with other people? If that is you, then I'm not sure if you should start your business right now. If you haven't read the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek yet, I'd say really try and read it, because he says, as the title says, start with why. Know why you want to do it, and money can never be your motivation, right? Money should be the result of doing what you really want to do. So if you're thinking about starting a business, really ask yourself, why do I want this business? It could be to help provide for your family. It could be to have that great car or to have that certain dream life, but then there has to be a deeper meaning behind it. To be able to travel the world, and yes, you need a lot of money for it, but the money itself isn't the goal, right? So ask yourself this and make sure you know this, because at times, especially when you just start your business, don't expect it to be a super successful thing in like 2-3 weeks or 1 or 2 months. It takes time. And if you don't know why you're doing it, it's really hard to keep going, and that's a recipe for failure. I actually had a coaching call with someone about 2 weeks ago, and he was really annoyed. He said, well, I started my business 2 months ago and I'm still not making that much money. And I see all these people, it's because money was the goal. He started his business just because he wanted the money. And after 2 months, he was about to give up, right? So tip number 1, know why you want to do it, and it cannot be money. Tip number 2 is start, right? We so often complicate things. Starting a business isn't that difficult, right? You need a plan. You need to find your niche. You need to figure out what the problem is of that niche, and then you have to figure out the solution to that problem, right? So do a bit of research, but just start, because you will get feedback. And I've made this mistake in the past where I was planning and trying to get this perfect solution and perfect product, and it took me so long. And once I launched it, people didn't really care about what I made because it was so complicated. So if you just start your business, just go out there, get feedback. You can change your product, you can change your service, because you will hear, if they say no, just ask, hey, okay, that's a shame, why not? What would you like different? Because I can learn from it. And then you finally, you basically make and create the service and the product that people actually want rather than what you believe they want. So just start. If it is not a success straight away, as long as you know your why, which was tip number 1, that's fine. Because you will learn, you will improve, and you will keep doing it because you're chasing that dream. You're chasing that why that you want to do. So just start. Don't procrastinate. Don't overcomplicate. Just start. Now, number 3 is part of this, and that is pick something that doesn't need a big investment, right? If you don't need a big investment, you don't need this huge business plan. And since we want to start fast, we don't want to spend months and months writing this business plan and then getting in debt a lot when we don't have any experience in business. So for most of you, I would say do a service. Do something that doesn't require a lot of money. Work from home, work from wherever to keep your overhead low in the beginning so that you have time, right? You have time to find out what works to make money, because if you start by getting an office employee straight away, that means that you're going to have to perform really good, really fast. Because if you don't, there's money out of the door every single month, and that's just pretty annoying, and that will put a lot of stress on you, especially if you're just starting your first business. If you're a young entrepreneur, maybe you're doubting between going to university and doing entrepreneurship, and that is already stressful, right? And then if you also see money going out of the door every month, that's going to be very difficult. You might give up. And trust me, being an entrepreneur, if it's something you want to do, it's so great. So it's something you want to pursue for the long run. You want to be able to become stress resistant, by the way. So that's, again, I would say meditate. Stress resistant, but also make sure you don't have too much cost, so that it's easier to set up for the long run and you have time. And yeah, I think that's a very important one. So that brings us to tip number 4, and that is to be patient, right? I already said this actually in one of the previous tips. You have to be patient. We see so much, I keep saying this, we see so much bullshit on social media. People, hey, I just started my business 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Look at my great car I just rented somewhere, right? It's probably not your car. Look at how much great results I have. And because of that, and with all respect, I think a lot of people who are around 18, 20, 22 years old right now, because they grew up in this super fast-paced world, the patience is a problem. And starting a business takes time. Getting good at something takes time, right? So be patient, give yourself time, allow yourself to fail every now and then, allow yourself to learn. And if you don't have great results after 1 or 2 months, it's fine, because business takes time. Be patient, give yourself that time. I could repeat that same sentence. I already repeated it like 10 times. I could say another 10 times because I think it's so important. Be patient, right? And maybe it's good to just stay away from social media as much as possible. Just follow the people who give value. Don't follow the people who just flash with everything they have all the time, because that will create a bit of fear of missing out. They want you to buy their shit, and it will probably make you feel like, oh, I'm not doing good because look at the great results they have. Give yourself time. Setting up a business takes time, and by not having high overhead, so by keeping your cost low, just by starting, by knowing why you do it, will all help you. Be patient and stay patient. And that brings me to the next tip, which is focus. We need to focus in a business, right? We need to focus on one thing. A mistake I've made in the past is focus on different projects at the same time and just see which one becomes a success, and then you can focus on that one. No, every really good entrepreneur that you can think of, they have one thing and they've been doing that over and over again, getting better every time, focusing, sticking with that thing, and that's how you become really and truly successful. And if you just keep on doing different things or start 5 projects at the same time, as I said, just hoping one will take off, that is not a great key to success, right? Know why you do it, be patient, stick with one thing. Don't think that don't niche job, because that's the same. Focus on one niche, right? Don't think, oh, I'm not getting great results, but it's probably because of my niche, right? Because it takes time. You have to stick with something, right? And then the last tip is you need to set realistic goals. Realistic goals means that we know why we do it, but we want to challenge ourselves. But don't say after 1 month, I want to have 10K month profit, because that's probably not realistic. I'd love to, right? I know you all love to, but again, we have to be patient, so it has to be realistic. So think to yourself, okay, what do I need in order to be financially free? Or what do I need to be able to leave my job if I have a job right now? Or what do I need to support my family, and how fast can I achieve that? Give yourself time, set realistic goals, monetary, but also in terms of, spiritual. Because we need to keep balance in there, right? All of those things are really important. Set goals first of all for your year, but then break it down into monthly goals, break those monthly goals down into weekly goals, then you create your daily tasks out of that. And if we are realistic and we're patient and we started and we don't have a lot of overhead, that is really how to set up your business for success. And maybe as a little add-on is, it's actually pretty good to find someone who's done this before, right? Well, 2 things. Find like-minded people, right? People who are also entrepreneurs, people who also want to challenge themselves and become better. So try and find those. And whether it's people in your own circle or online, in groups, it really helps, because you can keep each other accountable. You can really motivate each other. And then if possible, find someone like a mentor, find someone who's done it before and who says, hey, I will help you. I will prevent you from making the mistakes that I've made, right? And, I can guide you a bit, because that will really be a way to kickstart your business and to not make all the stupid mistakes that I've made in the past and that a lot of other entrepreneurs have made. Sure, you'll make mistakes, right? People I've mentored, I remember when I started mentoring Eman, I actually told him, hey, sometimes I will see you make a mistake and I will let you make it, because I think it's important to learn from it, and I will only do that when I see you making mistakes, which won't really cost a lot. If I see you really doing something I think that will screw up your business, of course I will tell you, and I will actually prevent it from happening. And that's a part that a mentor can do, or a coach, or someone who's done it. So look around you, who do you know who could help you in that part? Because because that will really help you kickstart and prevent you from mistakes, which will also help you be patient, keep your focus, and reach those goals that you're hopefully setting. So yeah, hopefully these 5 tips are useful, or probably 6 or 7 I gave in total. And make sure to check them out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll be always be checking them and answering them, and I will see you in the next video.